Every day again, I experience that there is a lot that I do not know. And it's important for me to say this. That is what I have learned the last year and a half. Universities create and spread knowledge. That is what we do. We make and disseminate knowledge. And we make knowledge, in essence, thanks to our scientific research in all of its forms, ranging from fundamental scientific research to demand-driven or policy-supported research. And the dissemination of knowledge is done via our education to a large extent. Our students bear in them the knowledge that we instill in them, and then they do something with that knowledge and that information. We communicate about our research results with our fellow researchers and our society as a whole. We spread knowledge by talking about it, about this knowledge with each other, our societies, and others. And the importance of knowledge creation and transfer has been demonstrated. And this has become very tangible. We know a lot. And at the same time, we were faced with a lot of uncertainty, with things that we didn't know. And we realized that acknowledging that you don't know something is very important. And the way in which people dealt with knowledge and knowing and not knowing exposed differences in our society. Those who thought that they knew, those who wanted to know, those who said that they always knew in the first place, and those who didn't want to know anything about it, those who didn't want to hear it, and those who didn't know it. Or we who thought that we knew or wanted to know, we said that we had always known, and we who didn't want to hear it, and we who didn't always know. We and they want to know and think. At times we were lost in our thoughts and in our words. Nothing was certain, except for one uncomfortable feeling, which was that of uncertainty. On social media, there's an echo chamber effect. That's what our communication scientists are telling us. So these echo chambers, these bubbles as they are called, they repeat and confirm what we thought and what we believed. We are increasingly faced with things that we don't know. But saying that you don't know something is not a popular stance in these echo chambers, because the alleged knowledge is not improved. We see the same thing happening in journalism and in politics. Every question is answered without any complicated answers, and it needs to be quick and snazzy, not in a minute, but right now. And during the pandemic, I sometimes wondered what will happen when nobody listens. What will happen if we are unable to instill knowledge? What if knowledge is disputed, denied, or disregarded up to absurd levels? What if knowledge is nothing more than an opinion or an ideology? What if science is considered as a new religion? How much knowledge can a deaf man's ears accept? And how much knowledge does science accept? Is the academy nothing more than an echo chamber, in addition to many other echo chambers? I refuse to believe that. How much knowledge are we able to accept, and how much lack of knowledge are we able to accept? Every day again, I experience that we do know a lot. We know that a screen alone will never be enough. We know that we all wanted to have contact. We know that ventilation is important. We know that vaccines are the key. We know how climate change works, and we know that knowledge matters. We come from a period when at times safety and precaution was more important than anything else. But this period is now behind us. Okay, we still have to abide by a number of corona measures. And yes, next week in many auditoriums, students will have to wear face masks. But this too is true. We have regained a lot of freedoms compared to what it used to be. What is this down to? Well, down to many people, very many people. And I do not want to minimize anyone's contribution, but I do think that we should all agree that our regained freedom is down to a very large extent scientific research. 1 year after the breakout of the pandemic, us having safe and effective vaccines, well, corona sucked, of course. Let's never forget about this, however. Scientific knowledge mattered and still matters. Every day again, I notice that we know a lot. We know that as an organization, as a University of Ghent, we were very flexible in the last 18 months. The many changes and switches which you all had to implement, the creativity you implemented, the renewed enthusiasm with passion, some passion or no passion, well, that creativity, that dedication deserves our greatest possible appreciation and gratitude. And therefore, also on behalf of the Vice Dean, thank you. Thank you for your sustained efforts. Thank you for taking the University of Ghent through this difficult period. And I would maybe like to take this time to do something that deans don't tend to do during these speeches, which is to thank staff of other universities, dear Caroline, dear Luc, Herman and Bernard. The last 18 months we worked together even more closely than before. We shared knowledge and lack of knowledge. We shared frustrations and hope. We also encouraged each other. We took decisions together, obvious ones and less obvious ones. I truly enjoyed that cooperation, and so that is why I say to you and to your members of staff, thank you. Incidentally, we don't need viruses for us to work together across universities. A few months ago, together with the University of Antwerp and the Free University of Brussels, we created the Nova Academy. The Nova Academy will allow the universities of Antwerp, Brussels and Ghent to reinforce lifelong together under the motto, bring learning to life. Because we know that Flanders needs to do more, and because we know that universities should work together. Every day again, I see that there is a lot that we do know. We know that the reputation of a university matters, especially to a university such as ours, which wants to position itself internationally and wants to be among the best in the world. Now, is the Ghent University one of the Ivy League universities? No. Does it have to be one? No. Is there another Belgian or Flemish university that is part of that Ivy League? Again, the answer is no. And yet, we as the University of Ghent are an excellent university, and the fact that this is internationally acknowledged is something I greatly appreciated. We have been asked to speak on international fora, and this makes me extremely proud. We play a leading role in a number of international university networks. The University of Ghent is an open and a committed university. We can and we want to take part in the world around us. And what is more than in Flanders, we want to be a global player. And this is a clear, explicit choice for internationalization, and this is a good tool for us to carry out our key duties of research, education, and social integration. And in this respect, we are building the ENLIGHT network, and ENLIGHT stands for European University Network to promote quality of life, sustainability, and global engagement through higher education transformation. So it's a cooperation of 9 European universities, including the University of Ghent. And it's one of the consortiums which was selected by the European Commission in the so-called European Universities Program, which allows us to focus on research and teaching. Our leading role in the ENLIGHT network, together with the presidency of the CESAR network, which includes 53 universities, and it's considered to be one of the key stakeholder organizations, and so our leading role in ENLIGHT and our presidency of the CESAR network means that our university is one of the top universities in Europe. That is a position that we need to foster and that we need to reinforce. It's a position that we want to capitalize on in the coming period. Last year, the trainings provided in the global campus in South Korea were greatly appreciated by the Dutch Flemish accreditation organization, which measures the quality of university education in Flanders and the Netherlands. Now, this extremely positive evaluation should be an encouragement for our GUGC activities, which includes excellent scientific research. So let's consider this a drive to reinforce those activities. We don't speak enough about our activities in South Korea, even though other universities are envious of those activities. And so I have decided to talk more about this in the coming years, and I hope that you will do this as well. I feel that we do not really realize the benefits provided by the Ghent University Global Campus. I don't want to be pretentious, but facts matter. And we are the only Belgian university to have this bonus. And I'm sure that other universities would talk more about this if it was not us, but them who had this benefit. And here it says in my notes, wink to my fellow deans from other universities present here. But there was only one of them looking in my direction, so that doesn't really work. Dear fellow members of the Ghent University, talk about our activities in South Korea, please. The future of universities is not determined by deans and policymakers alone. Of course, you also write the next chapters in our future. So, people of Ghent, be ambitious. Dare to believe that you can do it. We are a university that is locally, nationally, and internationally present on the stage. Every day, again, I experience that we know a lot. And this is the fourth time I said it. We know that universities are not football teams. And we know that university rankings should be considered with a critical eye. But we also know that we are internationally renowned. Our reputation for education and research has grown even stronger than it was before, and we should be proud of it. And so let's mention it here clearly and unequivocally for all to hear. And I'm not just saying this because the Times Higher Education rating said it. We're saying this because it is a fact. Let's go further down the path that we have selected and let us focus even more on recruiting the best talent globally in those domains where we excel. And let's be brave enough to actively recruit talent in all education and research domains abroad and within Belgium. So focus on cooperation across borders. In the next 2 years, talent-focused recruitment will be a priority, and we want to boost the reputation and image of Ghent as an excellent university must be reinforced. All of this with the goal of achieving our joint goals of research and services to our society, our joint ambitions. They are the ambitions of the University of Ghent as an institution, the ambitions of the entities that are a part of that, faculties, research departments, teams, units, sections, and above all, the ambitions of all Ghent staff. We want to bring your ambitions into reality. I know that the following statement is maybe a little bit controversial, but I'm going to say it anyway. Travel. Travel and travel a lot. For me, international mobility and travel is the key of what we should do. As a young researcher, being on the same stage as well-known experts, seeing them work, getting questions from them after a presentation, getting a pat on the back while waiting in line for coffee and cakes. Do we really think that we can replace this by doing this online via Teams or Zoom? I don't think so. And physical boundaries may be very relative in this online society when it comes to research and education. Real encounters provide real benefits, if for no other reason than to get away from our own study context and to establish truly strong bonds with students and colleagues who have a different background from ours. Of course, I know that conference talks and coffee and cake tables, sometimes, they don't do, they're not very factual. When did you arrive and when are you leaving? Those may be the most common questions at the coffee and cake tables, and I recognize that, but I would like to say, et alors, so what? Let's not underestimate the value of travel because of the trivial, obligatory, empty statements. Of course, the value of travel is something else. The value of travel is in the importance of learning and discovery. Learning from people and about people, their context, their culture, their way of thinking, their knowledge, their lack of knowledge, their being different. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no Teams or Zoom session that can be better. Every day, again, I experience the privilege of being somebody who works for the Ghent University. We will be opening the new academic year in a minute. It's a new start. Last weekend, I was present during a number of official graduation ceremonies, and there people talked about the end of a journey, which is also the start of a new journey. And I was also able to speak there and talk to the people present. I'm not going to repeat what I said there, save for one element, because I really believe it is important, and because I think that that element as well should be highlighted more often, also by us, clearly and unequivocally, for everybody to hear. Sometimes people ask me, the Ghent University, who or what is that? Ghent, who or what is it? Well, the answer is simple. The Ghent University, that is everybody of Ghent, all of our students, all of our members of staff, and all of our alumni. That is what we are, that is who we are. They, and you as well, have shaped our university into what it is today, a university we should all be proud of. That is us. Let us continue to shape the future of the University of Ghent. It's not just our duty to do this, it's also a privilege. Be proud of Ghent. Talk about Ghent. Continue to support the values of Ghent and do so proactively. The University of Ghent is a pluralist and engaged university which is open to all. Open to all, regardless of the philosophy of life or religion, regardless of political, social or cultural backgrounds. The University of Ghent is a University of Ghent that matters. We as people of Ghent want to matter locally, nationally and internationally. We want to have an impact, and we have an impact. And we are a university which always focuses on scientific research, where searching is a duty more so than finding, where facts, knowledge, knowing and not knowing are all important. It is a privilege to be a Ghentian, and it's an even greater privilege to be your Dean or Vice Dean. It was an honor to talk to you, and I would like to thank you for your attention here and for your presence. So thank you again. Thank you.
Het enige wat mij nu nog rest.
Thanks. The only thing that remains for me to do is to officially open the academic year 2021-2022, and may it be a year filled with freedom for all of you. And I wish this for you and to the University of Ghent. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been present here in many occasions, and I don't think there was a moment where I enjoyed being here more than today. So thank you all for joining us, be it in person or online, and we'll turn this into a wonderful year.